don't think he's talking to you.
No, he's not.
No.
Naked City audience, are you ready? Jeremy Maxwell, are you ready?
I am.
Jeremy, you may begin in 3, 2, 1.
It is pure happenstance that brings them to Mobile on this day. Some business-related bullshit that has everything to do with living and nothing to do with life. The three of us have not been in this city at the same time since I was 8 years old. 460 cities in Alabama, and almost every one of them are nowhere near the bay, nowhere near the Gulf, nowhere near me. They're in a hotel downtown and they want me to come visit, get lunch, play pretend. I'm trying to tie a tie around my neck with the phone cradled between my shoulder and my ear. I cannot do this, and I stop trying and take the receiver into my hand. I can't, I tell them, not today. Class ended last week and you don't have a job, he says. Come downtown, we leave in the morning, she says. The phone is cradled against my head again, and now no one is saying anything. It is time to go, and I need to tie this tie. I can't, I say. I have this thing. What thing? He says. Just this thing, I say. I want an award. What award? She says. I've taken second place in a fiction writing competition. This is the end of my freshman year, and it will be the last year of school I will ever attend. The creative writing class is available only to juniors and seniors, yet I have written my way into it. This competition consists of one story chosen from each school along the Gulf Coast. I represent the University of South Alabama and have taken second place to a senior in Texas from one of the largest writing programs in the country. I do not say any of this. A writing contest, I say. It's no big deal. This is a lie. I want them to be proud, to understand that I'm doing the one thing I know how to do, and I've done this thing so well that I've turned this entire community upside down, and now I have to go. I have to tie this goddamn tie because they're all waiting for me. They're waiting to see this kid who hasn't had time to learn a fucking thing about life, but has somehow figured out what everyone has been trying to say about it. You want a writing contest, she says. I didn't win, I say. Some chick in Texas won, but I still get an award. She's not listening to any of this. She is already growing proud of something she does not understand. And this is what I want, for them to be proud. But we have been through this before, and what I write does not make them proud. It makes my father angry, and it makes my mother cry. This is before I am writing about us. This is before I am even telling the truth. This is how they react to stories spun from whole cloth. What's the address, he says. Is it close? It's in Baldwin County, I say. No, it's not close. I hear him sigh, and this time when he says to give him the address, I do, and hang up the phone. Through the windows of the giant room, loblolly trees sway in the breeze, and you can hear the Gulf of Mexico even from inside. There are ceiling fans above us, and some of them are spinning and some are not. I'm fidgeting around in my seat, and already I want to go outside and smoke, but it's almost time now, and I have to stay put. My mother sits beside me and stares straight ahead, and on the other side of her, my father adjusts his tie. I look down to check mine, and it is not there. My tie is in the car. A famous author is on stage, and he is telling a story about a story. I've never read anything by him, and I do not know the story he is talking about. It is something he has written, something about his father. It is called The Mole, and it has been published in a magazine, and now his parents have read it. He talks about the hurt in his father's eyes, how his mother said that he should be ashamed, that she was ashamed for him, and that this was somehow worse than being ashamed of him. It's not that I didn't mean for them to read it, he says. It just never occurred to me they might. My mouth is getting dry, and I'm beginning to take shallow little breaths that move in and out of my body faster than the oxygen can be extracted, and I'm already reaching in my pocket for the cigarettes when my mother puts her hand on my leg. I'm having the first panic attack of my life, but I will not know what it is until I see Tony Soprano wreck his truck a few years later. I'm trying to stay calm, but I'm not getting any air, and my mother has turned to look at me. She gets glossy and wet, and I start to wonder why my eyes are watering, because I do not remember how to cry. She lifts her hand and puts her arm around me and holds me close. This is our first physical contact in 3 years, something not scripted by ritual. My mother is proud of me and does not want me to be afraid. She wants me to stand tall and walk out on stage and accept this award for this story I have written, This story that she does not know is about us, about her and what she did the last time we had an unscripted moment 3 years ago. How I sat with her in her bedroom and discussed the pros and cons of suicide and then just left her to it. How when she didn't die, she sent me a letter from the hospital telling me it was my fault. Not because I had let her do it, which I had, but that she had done it for me in the first place. This goddamn story that no one was ever supposed to read, that I'm about to have to read to this entire room. I do not know his name, but he has finished talking about the mole and he has started talking about me. My mother takes her arm from my shoulders and wipes my face with her hand. This is not the first time I have accepted an award in public, but it will be the last. In a few months, I will be on the other side of the country, stopping only because the ocean says I have to. I will not speak to my parents for years, and I will be crying then too. He is calling my name, and I stand and begin to shuffle toward him. He is shaking my hand, and he is famous, but I do not know who he is, and I will never read one of his stories. I will never read The Mole. I turn to the podium, and my story is already sitting there, and my tie is in the goddamn car, and I know it should be the other way around. And when I look up into the lights, my mother and father are smiling at me, and for 1 second, I know what it looks like to see them proud.
Once again, Jeremy, you come up on our podium and you punch us all in the gut, and then you
And the heart.
and then you force me to cheapen it. Force me to cheapen it. All right, brother, spin the wheel. You know how this is done. Please get a prize. Please get a prize.
Come on,
Please buy me
baby.
a drink. Please buy me a drink.
Eat your shame.